Yeah. So this is interesting news that we have here. Very interesting news. Very interesting indeed. So, before I get into this video, it's very interesting how this stuff works. Very interesting how this stuff works. Ooh. All right, cool. Very interesting how this stuff works. So let's go back and remind ourselves about how Mr. Tariq Nasheed feels about pulling up, whether or not he thinks that that's a good thing or not. What's up, Nene baby? So let's see how he feels about that. Let's remind ourselves before we watch this beautiful piece. See, I'm never gonna pull up on IG, but now I don't have to, right? After this, I really don't have to. Let me make sure this mic is acting right. After this, I really don't have to, right? But let's remind ourselves about how Tariq Nasheed feels about individuals pulling up. And thanks to this, like if y'all ever need to make videos, remind yourselves that anybody who has their CC on or their closed captioning on, you could always hit these dots and go to open transcript and search for the transcripts of exactly what you want to find. You could always find their actual words or their place in their video that they're making those statements. You can find it here. So that's a little pro tip for you guys when you're trying to expose these bastards. But let's remind ourselves of how he feels about pulling up.
Oh yeah, by the way, check these shirts out, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, okay.
Check that out.
All right.
Pull up summer.
You proud of that?
You can get some of these shirts at officialfba.com.
Does it come with old goon juice?
Officialfba.com.
No?
Officialfba.com.
All right.
Pull up summer.
Pull up summer, all right.
Oh man.
AKA the reckless shit he wants people to do, especially very reckless in Florida, where it could possibly get somebody shot or a group of people shot. You know, if you're having to pull up on people, that means that your law enforcement is not working properly. The other component that individuals like this clown should be pointing out is what everybody already knows, which is that what police is dual fold. It's not just simply police brutality and lies and false police reports on the one hand. On the other end, when you're a law-abiding citizen and you're trying to utilize the police to get people arrested who have wronged you or who have committed crimes against you, they choose not to do their job, right? It's not just simply, it's a dual-pronged thing. It's not just simply you constantly are dealing with violence and intimidation and predatory behavior. It's also that you don't have access to use the police to defend yourself in the case that somebody else has already committed crimes against you. They find everything they possibly can. If they show up on scene and there's two black people, they're trying to arrest both of you motherfuckers. If they can't arrest both of you motherfuckers, they're trying to not arrest either one. Especially if you're quote unquote the uppity Negro in the situation, they'll try their best to not arrest anybody, right? And if it's a white person that's clearly in the wrong, they're gonna go out their way to try to finesse a situation as to where, well, both of y'all gonna end up going to jail if we press charges on this person. So they'll try to get you out of the situation of press charges of pressing charges against them because they're threatening to also take you to jail for some sort of perceived wrong that they want to intimidate you out of charges for. So, but he's not bringing that up in this pull-up summer. This pull-up summer is, oh, this is great. He's not pulling up though. He's not gonna pull up with you. You can't call Tariq Nasheed and be like, hey, Tariq, we're planning on pulling up on this white supremacist house. Why don't you roll up with your camera phone and broadcast with us on IG Live? That nigga gonna be like, y'all niggas do that. You know, if anything interesting happened, I'll try to make money off of it, like these T-shirts I got. I'll try to make money off of it. I'll try to use it as content for my channel. But fuck that shit, I ain't showing up. But let's keep on hearing how he feels about Pull Up Summer.
A lot of stuff to talk about. Shout out to Michael Warner.
What's the other part?
We got the campaign.
Oh, okay, that's the only part. Okay, so we already know he historically is about Pull Up Summer. So let's see what happens when somebody pulls up on him. Wait, let's back up. What was his question? Because it's more important than what the fuck you got to say. Let's back up. Let's see the full context. No, it's about exposure. That's not a white supremacist. Oh, he's not. He gonna show you. He gonna show you.
I'll answer your question if you get on.
He gonna show you.
Wait.
He ain't a coward.
Red Jack, white supremacist, get on.
He's not a white supremacist. That nigga was on
supremacist.
point. That dude was on point.
You've been in here whining. Whenever black people start doing it, there you go. All right.
Man, black man, get your goofy ass on, man.
Exactly.
I'm just tired of you pimping our people, grifting our people.
Oh, there you go.
You gonna get the people their money back when you don't reach your goal?
Oh.
What you gonna do with the if you don't reach the million? Okay. If you don't reach the $1 million goal, are you gonna send the people their money back, or are you gonna go on more trips with your non-FBA wife?
Oh.
Are you gonna buy another Bentley with the money, or you gonna get the people their money back? Cause you're not gonna reach that goal in 19 days.
Oh.
Why is it 19 days?
Oh.
You got a trip planned in 19 days that you gotta pay for? Why is it a deadline so short?
Why you acting like an emotional bitch, bro?
See, they always go to that.
Because you grifting on our people.
Exactly.
You taking money from people that work hard to buy Bentleys and vacations. I don't see you doing no community work. All you do is take trips with your Mexican, Puerto Rican ass wife. But you talk about all this black power, this, black that. But you got a fucking Puerto Rican wife. She ain't even black.
She Dominican.
Tell people that.
She
Tell
Dominican.
people that. No, tell the people that. What you gonna do with the money? You gonna take more trips? Who fund your trips?
This is somebody.
The money from the books? The money from the books fund your trips?
This is a single mother.
You spending money from our people. Nigga used to write pimp books talking about how to pimp black women. How white women was better than black women. You said that shit. You must don't remember that shit. You used to write books about how to pimp on black women. You don't remember that, nigga? You a fake ass nigga. You ain't a real nigga. You ain't about the black people, nigga.
Pull up.
You talking about pimping hoes. You talking
pull
about
up.
black women. You do anything to
pull
make
up.
money. And
Pull
your
up.
new grip is to
Pull up.
Nigga, I'll beat your ass. Come to Chicago. I'll
Now
whoop your ass.
that I don't agree with. Hold on. That I don't agree with. That I don't agree with.
Nigga, your prepaid phone ain't even working that well. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, what you got to say, bitch?
This type of emotional fuckboy.
Oh no. No,
Is
that's
the
not
problem
wait,
that we
pause,
have.
bitch. Pause. Back up. I'm sorry. Back up. What? What was that about pulling up though?
What's out, ladies and gentlemen?
Oh.
Check that out.
Oh.
Pull Up Summer.
Pull up summer.
You
though.
can get some of these shirts at officialfba.com.
Oh. Okay, so you fully endorse Pull Up Summer. Oh, okay. You fully endorse that. Let's see what this nigga got in his ass. He got in his ass. Pause, because Tariq is definitely has a subscription service to lip gloss. So pause on that. But this dude pulled up. except for the beat your ass thing. That's the Chicago flooding out of this dude's soul. That part is I do not endorse in any way, shape, fashion, or form. Don't put your hands on nobody, right? But everything else is on point. Tariq, son of Ruckus. Son of Ruckus. Now let's back up just a little bit and because I ain't see this whole part. When I saw this on this weirdo D Tubman site, she's like the purse holder for all of these people. If you notice in the chat, D Tubman is always the person who is like a bouncer for all of these people. Somehow she's a bouncer for like several fucking channels in the chat rooms. Like this person, I don't know. She's like a handler of some sort of kind. I have no idea who this person is, but she's not just for Tariq, she's for other people. I've seen her in so many other people. I don't know who this person is. But it's kind of weird that she's a bouncer in so many people's chats. But anyways, when I saw this, I was like, you know what? I got to say something. So I didn't hear his response. I saw like the part that the guy was talking about like several times, and I had to come back on here. So let's back it up a little bit and let's see what he has to say, Mr. Pull-Up. Mr. Pull-Up. Let's see what you got to say, Mr. Pull-Up. I'm backing up all the way. Fuck all that. I want to see the whole goddamn thing again. That's just me. I want to see the whole fucking thing again. He tried to call him a white supremacist like he wasn't black. Like anybody who is against Tariq Nasheed has to be a white supremacist. No, they could actually just be a black person who possibly sees some suspect shit and they're calling it out.
You're a white supremacist troll. You've been in here whining. Whenever black people start doing it, there you go. All right.
Man, black man, get your goofy ass on, man.
Okay, first
I'm just tired of you pimping our people, grifting our people. You gonna get the people their money back when you don't reach your goal? What you gonna do with the if you don't reach the million? Okay. If you don't reach the $1 million goal, are you gonna send the people their money back, or are you gonna go on more trips with your non-FBA wife? Huh? Are you gonna buy another Bentley with the money, or are you gonna get the people their money back? Because you're not gonna reach that goal in 19 days. Why is it 19 days? You got a trip planned in 19 days that you got to pay for? Why is it a deadline so short?
Why you acting like an emotional bitch, bro?
Because you grifting on our people. You taking money from people that work hard to buy Bentleys and vacations. I don't see you doing no community work. All you do is take trips with your Mexican, Puerto Rican ass wife. But you talk about all this black power, this, black that. But you got a fucking Puerto Rican wife. She ain't even black. Tell people that.
So
tell people that. No, tell the people that. What you gonna do with the money? You gonna take more trips? Who fund your trips?
This is somebody.
The money from the books. The money from the books fund your trips.
This is a single mother.
You stealing money from our people. Nigga used to write pimp books talking about how to pimp black women and how white women was better than black women. You said that shit. You must don't remember that shit. You used to write books about how to pimp on black women. You don't remember that, nigga? You a fake ass nigga. You ain't a real nigga. You ain't about the black people, nigga. You talk about pimping hoes. You talk about pimping black women. You do anything to make money. And this your new grip. It's to anything to do. Nigga, I'll beat your ass. Come to Chicago, I'll whoop your ass.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. So you said what he gonna do about it. So you're agreeing with everything he said. But the question is, what are you gonna do about it? See, these types of people, let me back that up. I didn't notice that. I was too busy celebrating to realize that's why he said, I'll beat your ass. Because he said, what are you going to do about it? Hold up. What?
Fake ass nigga. You ain't a real nigga. You ain't about the black people, nigga. You talk about pimping hoes. You talk about pimping black women. You do anything to make money. And this your new grip. It's to anything to do. Nigga, I'll beat your ass. Come to Chicago, I'll whoop your ass. On my mom. It's to you're playing in 19 days that you got to pay for. Why is it a deadline so short?
Why you acting like an emotional bitch, bro?
Because you grifting on our people. You taking money from people that work hard to buy Bentleys and vacations. I don't see you doing no community work. All you do is take trips with your Mexican, Puerto Rican ass wife. But you talk about all this black power, this, black that. But you got a fucking Puerto Rican wife. She ain't even black. Tell the
So,
people that.
so
Tell
the
the people
best
that.
thing you can do.
No, tell the people that.
Stop
What you
asking
gonna
my
do with the money?
Stop
You gonna take
asking.
more trips? Who fund your trips?
This is somebody
The
raised by.
money from the books? The money from the books fund your trips?
This is a single mother
You
raised.
spending money from.
See, and that narrative, that single mother raised, blah 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 blah. That's from that bitch TBA. That's from that bitch TBA who moonlights trying to sound like what's his name? Donovan Sharp, who tries to sound like Donovan Sharp. There's a reason why I keep on saying that name. Who tries to sound like Donovan Sharp on his channel, The Business. Yeah, that's straight out of TBA's narrative. See, they know the maladies of black people. They know our maladies so far as generalized anxiety disorder, so far as broken families. This individual who's supposed to be a leader in black empowerment, who's supposed to be identifying a lack of strong family bonds as the core sort of entry point for the virus known as white supremacy and institutional racism, and therefore the main healing point for that, right? I'm a little bit too old. I've had bad experiences with relationships. I got to get over my personal issues. But my personal issues aside, as I've said, and Isis, you could be a witness to this. I'm fairly confident you was on that live. I previously said in my previous relationship, regardless of what happened, even if I did not love that person, if I would have been able to stay in that relationship with that person, that would have been a blow to white supremacy. Did I or did I not say that? Right? Did I or did I not say that? Let me make sure my volume is up because I had it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? There we go. But that's what I'm saying. You have this person who's supposed to be in black empowerment. You have this person who's supposed to be in black empowerment who's using the maladies associated with or the known reactions to white supremacy and institutional racism, or the main target points for that pain, that wound. And he's using it as a means of critiquing people. This is the same type of shit that TBA was doing or does on his channel, The Business, the other channel that sort of negates everything that he's saying on his other channel, right? That's what they do. That's what these sons of Ruckus do. Right? On the one hand, they try to put themselves out as your leader, but on the other hand, they try to use the wounds and blows and scar tissue created by white supremacy and institutional racism to shame you. This individual, you don't know a jack diddly shit about this individual. All you know is that he's black and he doesn't necessarily support you. And the very first thing that comes out of your goddamn mouth is, oh, well, you must be a son of a single mother. You must be a son of a single mother. Like I said, this is what I was saying earlier. So like I said, on my live, and I think Isis, you was in there when I said this, I was like, hey, my previous relationship didn't work out at all. You know what I'm saying? I fell out of love with that person. But regardless, even me looking back right now, if I would have been able to stay with that person, regardless of what happened with that situation, me being able to raise a child, a black child, within that family structure would have been a blow to white supremacy. And regardless of my personal situation, right? That would have been the truth. And I may be me personally, I may have to struggle with relationship bonds and building for the rest of my life because of that type of situation, right? But at the same time, I'm not stupid enough to from a policy position or from a position of black empowerment, I'm not able to just solely look through the lens of my own personal experience in order to say whether or not strong family bonds are needed in order to counter white supremacy. You need that. But a son of Ruckus like Tariq Nasheed will go to that as a primary point to sort of demean a person who's making valid points. Instead of you addressing his points and getting them out the way, you're making every single statement you possibly can to try to do all the ad hominem attacks you possibly can in order to sidestep responsibility in this situation, right? This is what a leader would see in this situation is a failure of leadership. Obviously, I failed to communicate all these points to the people, which allows a person like this to be able to make these critiques. So instead of me being able to catch an attitude, let's go through these issues point by point by point. Here's how I make my money. Here's why I'm able to afford this. This is what I make my money off of. How much money do I? Yeah, you have to go through all that, Tariq. How much money do I have? Why am I not putting money into this? If I am putting money into this, how much money have I already put into this? And how much money do I plan on putting into this? Right, all those questions need to be answered, especially while you're vacationing on one side in the Maldives while asking for $1 million on the other side. Because if you took the same money that you're using for this vacation, you would have at least, and we already went through the calculations. Remember, we went through the calculations. And now he's in the Maldives. That changes that calculus, right? That changes that calculus, right? Because you're talking about boats. You're talking about remote islands, especially if you want to go off the beaten path. You have to get boats and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? In order to be able to go to those areas, right? That changes the calculus, especially when you're talking about how many people are there, right? We're talking about possibly $30,000 or $40,000, maybe, right? On the high side, maybe. That's a large amount of people's $50. That's a large amount of $50 bills from a whole bunch of people that you're asking for money for simultaneously while you're out vacationing. So this individual is asking all the questions that's on everybody's mind. So as of right now, if you, especially with his response, which we'll get to, because I'm gonna back this shit up, because now I was so focused on what he was saying, I wasn't realizing what Tariq was saying in the background. And he was saying that, oh, what you gonna do about it, shit like that. And now he threw out the whole, oh, he's a son of a single mother, all this shit. You see how these sons of Ruckus work? Because this is the type of shit that could easily come out of Roland Martin's mouth, if you start to criticize him, even on policy. I've already proven that. This is the type of shit that you could get from TBA, even if you're just asking simple questions. Because if you ask questions that show that you're not one of these dumbass niggas, that you actually have a brain that's functional and critical, and your motivations, and you put them in a situation where they have to earn their place in order to have legitimacy and superiority, or what they deem as superiority, which is really a responsibility-laden position of leadership. If they see that, oh, well, you want me to work to be your leader? Fuck you. I'll just throw out a whole bunch of ad hominem attacks, right? I wasn't noticing the shit that he was saying in the background, but that's interesting. Let's back this shit up. Mr. Pull-Up Summer. Mr. Pull-Up Summer. I'm going to focus more on what the hell you're saying in the background. Let me turn this up so everybody can hear you. Hold on.
Been in here trolling. You're a white supremacist troll. You've been in here whining. Whenever black people start doing it, there you go. All right.
Man, black man, get your goofy ass on, man.
Okay, first of all,
I'm just tired of you pimping our people, grifting our people. You gonna get the people their money back when you don't reach your goal? What you gonna do with if you don't reach the million? Okay. If you don't reach the $1 million goal, are you gonna send the people their money back, or are you gonna go on more trips with your non-FBA wife? Huh? Are you gonna buy another Bentley with the money, or are you gonna get the people their money back? Because you're not gonna reach that goal in 19 days. Why is it 19 days? You got a trip planned in 19 days that you got to pay for? Why is it a deadline so short?
Why you acting like an emotional bitch, bro?
Because you grifting on our people. You taking money from people that work hard.
See, ad hominem attack, actual honest response, right? And let's see what he says.
To buy Bentleys and vacations. I don't see you doing no community work. All you do is take trips with your Mexican, Puerto Rican ass wife. But you talk about all this black power, this, black that. But you got a fucking Puerto Rican wife. She ain't even black. Tell the people that. Tell the people that. No, tell the people that. What you gonna do with the money? You gonna take more trips? Who fund your trips?
This is somebody.
The money from the books. The money from the books fund your trips.
This is a single mother.
You spending money from my.
See that? Wait. So he started this conversation calling this young man a white supremacist, assuming that if he's against him, he has to be a white person. Who sounds like the white supremacist right now? This young man or Tariq Nasheed? Who sounds like the white supremacist? Tariq Nasheed just came out of his mouth and said that he sounds like a son of a single mother. So who is the actual white supremacist? Right? And so that's why I say these people are sons and daughters of Ruckus. At the end of the day, if you ever push and think about it, and now we can have a link. I'm gonna pause it for a second because now we can have a link of my previous video when I said sons and daughters of Ruckus. Somebody would think to themselves, well, why did you include Yvette Carnell in that? If you go against Yvette Carnell, I'm sure everybody has fucking seen it, especially when it comes down to Boyce Watkins, which she probably knew about Charles Wu and didn't really say much about it, right? Because that caught me off guard. Honestly, I didn't know about Charles Wu until Kwame Brown not even Kwame Brown, Self-Talk brought the shit up. I was like, what? Really? I didn't know about it until then. But anyways, we all know how Mrs. Yvette Carnell does things. She would respond in much the same way to criticism and critique that comes her way. All of these individuals don't really care about you. They care about funneling your energy into doing something they want to do. And if you ever pop your head up and show that you have a mind of your own, they're going to try to beat you the fuck down or dismiss you or throw a whole bunch of ad hominem insults your way before they throw you out the door, right? So let's just keep that in mind. Who sounds like the white supremacist? Tariq, the son of Ruckus, or this individual? Who do you think has your back as a black person? Tariq or this individual?
People, nigga used to write pimp books talking about how to pimp black women and how white women was better than black women. You said that shit. You must don't remember that shit. You used to write books about how to pimp on black women. You don't remember that, nigga? You a fake ass nigga. You ain't a real nigga. You ain't about the black people, nigga. You talk about pimping hoes. You talk about pimping black women. You do anything to make money. And this your new grip. It's to anything to do. Nigga, I'll beat your ass. Come to Chicago, I'll whoop your ass. On my mother.
You're not gonna do shit. You a fuck boy and you're moist and emotional.
There you go. See? Talking points.
Your prepaid phone ain't even working that well. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Let me get him off. Ladies and gentlemen.
Pause before you speak, bitch. Great job. Whoever that young man is, great fucking job. Great fucking job. You did. Pause before this bitch ass motherfucker speaks. Great job, young man. Great job, except for the beat your ass part. Don't do that because bitch ass motherfuckers like him will take that and try to, you know what I'm saying, find your location and try to, file police reports and shit like that. Don't do that. Don't ever threaten anybody physically in any way, shape, fashion, or form, right? Don't do that. Everything up until that point, I know he set you up with what you gonna do about it. I know he set you up. Don't ever bite that bullet. Go down that line again. Other than that, young man, good job. Good fucking job. Now let's hear what this son of Ruckus has to say.
This type of emotional fuckboy is a problem that we have in the community. Now, first of all, fuck nigga, you yelling like a bitch,
ad hominem,
like a hoe.
Racial
epithet. This is why we need men out here.
Conservative talking point.
This is an emotional fuckboy. He's raised. That's how hood rats talk.
Ad hominem, but address his points.
This is how hood rats talk.
Address his points, though.
He hopped on yelling and emotional. I'm a man, nigga. I'm out here in the Maldives chilling.
Exactly.
You see where I am, nigga?
And that's why he said what he said?
But this is one of these niggas who's raised by a single hood rat.
Ah, there you go. Hood rat.
That's what hood rats do.
Ooh.
Raised in the projects, no man around. That's his mama talking. Pocket watching another man.
Pocket watching.
Emotional. Listen to him.
Wait. So his donations are in his pocket. Your donations are in his pocket. It's not in the nonprofit organization. It's not a part of a nonprofit organization where he's soliciting donations from the public and therefore has a responsibility to provide an answer to the public so far as any questions before they provide any donations. Those donations are in his pocket, and therefore if you're asking questions about it, you're pocket watching, according to Tariq Nasheed. So you gotta watch these niggas. At the end of the day, these narcissists always tell you the truth. They never lie. They never lie. You just don't pay attention. You just don't pay attention. A narcissist is going to bluntly to your face tell you the truth of how they feel and what they're doing. You can't pocket watch a nonprofit organization, sir. You can ask questions of a nonprofit organization before you decide to donate. And in fact, a nonprofit organization providing that information is very important to that nonprofit organization getting donations. They actually want to put out as much, well, for a reputable nonprofit organization, they want to put out as much information as possible to prove the work that they're doing such that you can more readily donate to them. We don't know the name. I know the name of the behind it based off of what? What did I find? I think I found something else. It's like Melanated People or something like that. Nonprofit is named Melanie. I don't know if it's a part of the Indiegogo. I don't know if he said it there. I'm not sure. I found it somewhere though. But you should be speaking to people who you're soliciting donations to as the representative or head of a nonprofit. You think that somebody asking you that's a very valid question, sir. It's a very valid question. You are in the Maldives asking us broke descendants of American slaves post a pandemic where they're using every single thing that they possibly can to justify getting us fired from these jobs first and having our kids doing virtual schools and all this other stuff first and getting us messed up first, right? Just like we were first in line to die when everything was going on. We're the first in line to get we're going to be the first ones thrown out on our ass as a part of this eviction situation. All this stuff is going on. And you asking for money from us. You're not asking for money from other people who have wealth. You're asking money from us, the descendants of American slaves. And you feel as though you could do so while simultaneously doing something that only the 1% of the 1% of us could do, especially at a time like this, which is travel abroad to the Maldives with your entire fucking family. And you don't feel as though you need to answer a fucking question on top of that? And questions about money that not necessarily yours, but questions on the money that you're getting so far as the donations are concerned. I told you, these narcissists will tell you every single time exactly how they feel and what the fuck they're doing.
He didn't really have an argument, so he just started making up stuff.
Oh yeah,
if you got to make up shit about me, I don't get offended. Listen, calling my wife Mexican and all.
Okay, that's the only point. She's Dominican.
That doesn't offend me, nigga, because you making shit up.
Okay, she's Dominican. Move on.
That doesn't offend me at all.
You're gonna stay on that point?
Nigga. That makes you look bad because you just an emotional nigga saying anything, dude.
Nah.
Your pussy is itching.
Nah.
You sitting in a Toyota Celica.
So wait, I'm sorry. So when these black people are mad, and therefore anger is an emotion, when these black people are mad and using their emotions to pull up on white supremacists, let's just be clear. I don't support the strategy, but yes, these people are definitely white supremacists that they're pulling up on. But you're okay with this emotion. But when somebody else shows that same emotion to you on a one-on-one level, somehow they're an emotional bitch. See, this is the type of male shaming tactics that bitches like this got to do, right? Maybe he's justifiably pissed off. Maybe you took $50 from his grandmama. Maybe his mama donated $50. Maybe somebody he knows donated $50 to you. Maybe he's pissed off on an individual level. Maybe he has a reason to be pissed off. You never asked the question. So don't do the shaming tactic. Let's get to the points. Are you going to get to the point, sir?
Yelling at 8 o'clock in the morning like a bitch. Just making up stuff. That doesn't bother me.
The only thing he made up, only thing he got wrong was your wife's nationality. Okay? She's Dominican. And move on.
You used to write pen books and you my hoe. Nigga, you are my hoe.
Oh, wow.
Niggas like that want to be hoes.
Oh, wow. So it's almost like when I said, you know what? That speaks for itself. There's very little I can add to that. Hold on. Back that up one time.
You sitting in a Toyota Celica yelling at 8 o'clock in the morning like a bitch. Just making up stuff. That doesn't bother me, you emotional fuck nigga. You used to write pimp books and you my hoe. Nigga, you are my hoe. Niggas like that want to be hoes.
So, I mean, if you donate a goddamn dollar, please let me know where you are. I will hand you a free Jap slap. I will Jap slap the shit out of you. You know what I'm saying? This is an old country term. I will Jap slap the shit out of you. Okay? I will Jap slap the shit out of you. You hear me? I will backhand you with the big. Just please, I'll give it out for free if that's what you want. It'll go free with your donation. If you give $1 to this individual who thinks that this is okay, that this type of behavior is okay, you know what I'm saying? That this type of behavior is okay, there is something severely wrong with you. That individual, yeah, he was angry. Anger is an emotion that men often feel. But the questions still remain. He asked a large amount of questions that's on the tongues of everybody else who doesn't really want to feel like playing around with you. And you call this man one of your hoes? You double down on the fact that you did this pimp type shit? And this chick, D. Tubman, is posting this shit like, oh, yeah, this is the new thing from Tariq Nasheed. The fuck is wrong with you too? I wouldn't have posted this shit. I wouldn't have posted it without commentary, at the very least. Did you not hear this section, lady? D. Tubman? Did you not hear this section? Fuck is wrong with you? And then the response is so disrespectful. Boy, let me back this up. I'm gonna try not to stop. I'm gonna try not to stop it.
Bother me, you emotional fuck nigga. You used to write pimp books and you my hoe. Nigga, you are my hoe. Niggas like that want to be hoes. How am I blaming black women for him? I'm blaming hood rats for him. Let's stop this shit about making hood rats be de facto black women. Cut that out. I really want y'all to stop. Anytime somebody brings up a fucking hood rat, y'all make them the de facto black women. They're not. You dig? They're not.
I'm going to predict something. Tariq is going to make a hard shift, and he's going to go back to talking this pimp shit. I guarantee you. That's in the back of my soul right now. He's going to abandon black empowerment talk like a motherfucking hot stone. You know what I'm saying? He's going to drop that shit like a hot, heavy stone, and he's going to move back to try to talk this little pimp shit. Watch.
Hood rats are hood rats. This nigga was raised by a hood rat. And I point that out because he's acting like one. This nigga's acting like a bitch. Ain't no G in him. And these are the niggas, unfortunately, you gotta watch out for because little fuck niggas like this are scary. They ain't gonna throw them things. This nigga didn't have any bass in his voice. And those are the little fuck niggas that you see sneaking around shooting people in the back.
Wow.
You understand? A lot of the shooting that we see, shootings are done really by fuck niggas.
Wow.
Yeah? Shootings are done.
Let me tell you what a fuck nigga is. A fuck nigga is a person who sends up there and sells shit to emotionally and financially deprived people that he knows is emotionally and financially deprived. That's a fuck nigga. A fuck nigga is a nigga who can't address the claims directly that a motherfucker brings to his fucking chest. If you're gonna bring some shit to me, we gonna address it point by motherfucking point. Point by motherfucking point. Point by motherfucking point. We're doing it in a public shit. Then I guess we handling this shit in public, goddammit. Point by motherfucking point. Point by motherfucking point. And if there's a situation where it's like, oh shit, this is way too hot for me to handle in public, then I'm gonna say, hey, I have no comment for this point. Let's move on to the next point. But other than that, we're going to go point by motherfucking point. But this little bitch ass motherfucker can't do that. Oh, the heat is hot there, Tariq. The heat is hot.
By fuck niggas like that.
Nah, he's a grown ass man
A
who
lot
did
of
a
shootings,
very
these
good
little
job of
sneaky
selling
ass
that.
shootings where kids are being
Nah, look at
shot,
this.
it's done by
Look at
fuck
this.
niggas like this.
Look
Niggas
at
like
this.
this who can't
The
really
defamation,
throw them things up.
the slander.
And again, that type of emotion comes from black people, black men, getting together, handling business as men. We're making power moves as men. As a black man, we're making power moves. We're doing things that black men and black women are supposed to do. Black men.
See, this is the water by the desert shit that I was talking about earlier, right? One of my comments was Tariq Nasheed is the person at the edge of the desert collecting donations for him to go buy some water, right? He's like, hey, I know y'all are thirsty. Give me some money. I'll go buy a whole bunch of water and I'll drink it. And then in my experience of drinking it, you can have an experience associated with drinking it, right? Oh, can you have some? No, you can't have none unless you're gonna pay for some. Oh, or do you own this? No, you don't own this. I own it because remember, you didn't buy all of this. You only contributed a part of some of this. You didn't buy all of this. Everybody bought all of it, and they gave it to me to make the decisions. Oh, can you control who gets some of this water? No, 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 no. I'll give it out to whoever the hell I want to. But yeah, these are the terms. You'll give me the money. I'll go buy it, but you'll have the experience, the close-up experience of drinking the water. I'll do that for you. That's what he's doing. So he's like, well, yeah, I'm fleecing you motherfuckers. Yeah, I'm possibly taking money from you motherfuckers. I'm definitely not going to tell you, you know what I'm saying, where this money is coming from. Well, fleecing, possibly, allegedly. I'm not going to tell you where this money is going to. I'm not going to do that much of anything on that. But hey, we out here making moves. Yeah, but you're possibly fleecing and grifting off of us. Nah, but we making moves. No, but you're doing predatory shit in our community. But we're making moves. Listen, we don't care about the Bentleys and all this stuff that you're flashing in front of us so far as your monetary net worth. We don't care about that shit. We feel as though you're actually taking money. I don't care about that. Look at me. Y'all hating. Look. This nigga is like a horrible rapper. This is like a rapper with showing off his grills. That's what this nigga is doing. Like, honestly, he's worse than a fucking rapper. But this is a son of Ruckus. And at the end of the day, like I said earlier, it's so funny how I say shit and then bam, I promise you I didn't see this video before I made that Sons of Ruckus thing. I promise you I didn't see this because I'm not floating on D Tubman's fucking page. Right? The very first time I saw this is when I hit start streaming on OBS software. Right? But it's so funny how I said this thing about the Sons of Ruckus and how they're all together and they're all the same. You piss off Roland Martin, you're going to get the same type of energy from him. That you ain't shit because you're black and at least I'm doing something with my network. You piss off TBA, same sort of energy. Professor Black Truth, same sort of energy. Yvette Carnell and Tone, same sort of energy. Same sort of energy. All these people are hooked up. Boyce Watkins, same sort of energy. Even that Skeletor looking chick from Fly Nubian channel, same sort of energy. You ever critique them? You have any? You low down dirty nigga. How dare you even step up? They use the same type of fucking energy as a white supremacist in order to beat you back down. It's almost like they're using the tools of white supremacy against an oppressed people. It's almost like that.
And you're supposed to get with other black men and women, build resources, build an economic base. You're supposed to raise a family. You're supposed to travel with your family. You're supposed to do great things with black people in your community. That's what men and
Listen. I don't know. Someone should break into his house while he's on vacation. Listen, dude, I'm blocking you for something like that. Listen, I'm not advocating for any type of shit like that. I don't know why you're saying that. That's completely unacceptable, right? I'm not advocating for anybody to break the law in any way, shape, fashion, or form with anybody. I don't play no types of games like that. So I'm removing this comment. And if you make any sort of stupid ass comments again like that, I'm blocking you. Period. Okay? I'm being very clear. I'm being very clear on why I'm doing what I'm doing and what I'm gonna do in the future. Don't say no shit like that. I'm not interested in that. See you put me in a situation now where I have to defend Tariq Nasheed, right? Listen, nobody should be breaking into anybody's house in any way, shape, fashion, or form. No, it's not funny, motherfucker. So I'm gonna go ahead and block you. It's not funny. It's not funny. So I'm gonna go ahead and block you. Let me go ahead and remove this comment. I'm gonna put your ass in timeout. And if you say something else, I'm gonna block you. Now you're putting me in a situation where I gotta take out time to defend Tariq Nasheed when I was on a roll of addressing my comments to a grown ass man, right? So here's the deal. He has children, right? Nobody should be breaking into his house, saying anything to him in any way, shape, fashion, or form. That's unacceptable. At the end of the day, he's a grown-ass man with kids. Regardless of whether or not he's, in my opinion, a creature of the night, sucking the blood of black people, all this talk of violence against somebody, that's unacceptable. I want to be very clear. Don't put me in a situation where you're talking about shit that's completely unacceptable, right? To the point where I have to stop what I'm saying in order to defend somebody who is really shouldn't be deserving of defense in any way, shape, fashion, or form. Nobody should be breaking into his house. Nobody should be doing anything. Nobody should be going to his house. There should be no pull-up summers like that, you know what I'm saying, in any way, shape, fashion, or form, with the exception of this. I fully accept this. Online, directly online, yeah. You should pull up on Tariq online, absolutely. You should absolutely do that. You should absolutely voice your opinion in a non-violent, non-threatening way, and on topic and on code and on point so far as the things that you're saying. You should never, in any way, shape, fashion, or form, threaten his physical well-being, the well-being of his children, or the well-being of his wife, or the well-being of his property. Right? See, off code, you're showing me some slick shit right there with that stupid shit that you said in the comment. That stupid shit that you just said in the comment. You're showing some slick shit right there. Now I see what they're talking about agent behavior and that sort of a thing. You're showing some slick shit there. And ISIS, feel free. You have more experience than me when it comes out of that. Feel free. If you see any comments like that, feel free to delete that person. That's unacceptable. And you have to make me stop what I'm doing in order to defend him and his wife and his children and his family and his property, right? That's unacceptable. Here's how this person how we should actually handle Tariq Nasheed. We should put him in a situation where he has to parrot the same type of shit as Jesse Lee Peterson. Is that his last name, Jesse Lee Peterson? We should put him in a situation where we have to show very clearly that he's willing to buck dance for white supremacy in order to make a buck. We should put him in a situation where he cannot make money off of our community anymore in any way, shape, fashion, or form. And therefore, in order to maintain the lifestyle he has to go tail tucked between his legs over to his white zaddy for work because that door to descendants of American slaves is closed. But making a statement like that is completely fucking unacceptable, right? Or maybe you didn't realize that TBA did the same shit to me of putting out my motherfucking phone number, and I still have to call the state's attorney's office in the state that he lives in, that he broadcasts from, in order to follow up on criminal charges with regards to him. That's a serious fucking situation, right? I couldn't sleep that entire fucking night. Yeah, I had other things that I had to deal with that entire fucking process, right? I had to take that as a serious fucking threat. Because when 200 people are calling your fucking phone, right? I don't care how big of a grown-ass man you are kind of concerned with how stupid people are. So don't do that. Don't do that. Don't ever distract from my message again with some fuck shit. Don't do that. Don't do that. Anyways, sorry, I can't believe you put me in a situation where I have to stop what I'm saying in order to defend Tariq Nasheed when he put his foot completely in his fucking mouth. I cannot believe you did that. That's completely unacceptable, dude. That's completely unacceptable. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta say once again, in order to make it very fucking clear, I don't care who it is. I take violence to anybody's. I definitely take threats to myself and my family very fucking seriously. I also take threats to anybody else's family very fucking seriously as well. Nothing about this of what we're talking about should jeopardize anybody's personal safety or their property. I want to make that very, very fucking clear. Okay? There we go. Now we could go back to talking about the shit we were talking about. That's actually on point, on code, you know what I'm saying? That's completely acceptable types of critique and criticism for a public figure. Not any sort of threats to himself or his property. The fuck? What?
And women do. When you have a nigga raised by a hood rat, and the hood rat is dysfunctional and toxic, there's been niggas running in and out that nigga's house all his life, banging on his mama, fucking his raggedy mammy.
So this is what I'm talking about. So back to on code shit. So this young man brought up many topics that were completely valid, right? Many topics that were completely valid. Has he addressed the one? He's going into a diatribe of actual ad hominem attacks against this individual without any actual responses or rebuttals to anything that he put out as statements or critiques. He's going in ad hominem attacks about this individual. And if you notice, the chat that which she doesn't show the chat. This is nice little teammate behavior from D Tubman, because she's not showing the actual chat where people are probably railing against his ass for going after this motherfucker, or they're probably saying a whole bunch of shit in support for what the dude just said, but that's not being shown here, right? So I wonder whether or not she recorded it live, or whether or not she recorded it live, saw the comments, and then went back and re-recorded it without any of the comments showing. Because that's very interesting that none of the comments are showing here while we're having this. So you could have a one-sided conversation that way. But remember his little diatribe right now of going after single black mothers and stuff like that, and trying to highlight hood rats again. You could talk about hood rats, fine, but let's talk about who creates the hood rats, right? Let me do that instead of me talking about that. Let me do that. Let me do it like this. Let me do it like this. Hold on one second, because I don't want my business shown. See. Every single time the word hood rat comes up, every single time anybody says anything about black single mothers, right? You have to read this. This is like the founding document for this statement. If you're not doing this, if you're not reading this document, every single time that you talk about a black single mother, there's a problem, right? So let me go ahead and do it myself. So when we're talking about it, yes, I have critiques of black single mothers, right? I have personal critiques I could bring up about black single motherhood. But we gotta go here. We gotta go here every goddamn time. So now that the topic of black single mothers has popped up, let's go here to the nigger marriage topic by Willie Lynch. Some sovereign citizen Hotep niggas would tell you, well, Willie Lynch never existed. It was a nom de plume and blah, 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 blah. I don't give a damn. It predates a large amount of the legislation that we have to deal with. So let's go ahead and talk about the primordial strategy of creating slaves, chattel slaves, right? The nigger marriage. We breed two nigger males and two nigger females. Then we take the nigger males away from them and keep them moving and working. Say one nigger female bears a nigger female and the other bears a nigger male. Both nigger females being without influence of the nigger male image, frozen with an independent psychology, will raise their offspring in reverse positions. The one with the female offspring will teach her to be like herself, independent and negotiable. We negotiate with her, through her, by her. We negotiate her at will. That negotiate term can really be substituted with we manipulate her. Because she doesn't have a male in her life, because she doesn't have a male leading her family, we're able to easily manipulate her. Like, for instance, we're easily able to say, well, hey, if you have a male in the home, you won't get any child support, you won't get any sort of welfare assistance. That type of negotiation is what they're talking about. The one with the nigger male offspring, she being frozen with a subconscious fear for his life, will raise him to be mentally dependent and weak, but physically strong. In other words, body over mind. Now in a few years, which again, let's read that again. The one with the female offspring will teach her to be just like herself, independent and negotiable, right? So independent, this is the mannish woman, right? The woman without sort of the feminine touch, right? This is a goal of white supremacy is what you're reading. This is a goal of white supremacy. So if the one's rolling her neck, rolling her eyes, sucking her teeth, that is a goal of white supremacy. That is a goal of white supremacy, is what you're reading. The one with the nigger male offspring, she being frozen with the subconscious fear of for his life, will raise him to be mentally dependent and weak, but physically strong. In other words, body over mind. Now, in a few years, when these two offsprings become fertile for early reproduction, we will mate and breed them and continue the cycle. This is good, sound, and long-range comprehensive planning. Does this sound like you're talking about human beings, or does this sound like you're talking about raising cattle? Like how you should separate and rear cattle and do cow husbandry, right? That's what this sounds like. It sounds like you're breeding an animal, right? And even though they're human with some sort of psychological predictive things or elements to it, it's almost like, oh, okay, well, we'll just contaminate, or we'll season the meat with this, and then it'll taste better later, type shit, right? Is Tariq, the historian Nasheed, I want to build a museum Nasheed, saying that as he says this shit. So let's back that up.
When you have a nigga raised by a hood rat, and the hood rat is dysfunctional and toxic, there's been niggas running in and out that nigga's house all his life, banging on his mama, fucking his raggedy mammy. There's been dusty niggas fondling him. He sounds like one of these niggas who done got fondled by one of his mama's boyfriends. And that happened.
Wow. So this guy asks what he's doing with donation money, and all of a sudden Tariq is fantasizing that this individual has a sexual molestation in his past. That's very mature of you, Tariq.
It's a lie. You there? That happens a lot. This nigga's pussy done got fondled too. So now he's emotional when you see a black man handling business, and then you juxtapose yourself to it, you kind of feel insecure. Yeah?
Wait, I'm sorry. Is he a businessman, or is he? Wait, let me pause because I want to get his words correctly. Hold on, gotta back up here because I'm not on my I don't want you to see everything that's going on here. So is he a businessman or?
Greetings, family. This is Tariq Nasheed. I am your community servant.
Community servant. Or is he your community servant? Which is it? Is he a businessman or is he a community servant? Don't worry about the NZD. That's my VPN doing its job. But is he a businessman or is he a community servant? I'm sorry. Because if he's a community servant, if Tariq Nasheed is a community servant, and somebody from the community has questions about his operations of his nonprofit organization that's supposed to serve the community, then you would think that the founder of such a nonprofit would have no problem with addressing those problems and those issues directly.
Yeah, this nigga's mad about his life. This nigga's upset about how he's living. That hood rat mammy didn't give him no game. See,
so it's not that his life is being shaped by white supremacy and institutional racism, and therefore his life would be better with reparations. It's that he somehow is a planned victim of white supremacy, and you somehow are not. How are you not? Because the avenues that we see out of the hood for a large amount of people is dancing like a court gesture for white people, selling out black people, or telling on black people. Those are the three avenues that you could tap dance, whether it be entertainment or athleticism or some way, shape, fashion, or form. You could sell out black people, right? Which means that you're grifting from them, you know what I'm saying, and stealing money from them. Or you could tell on black people, meaning that you can be a willing troll or a willing agent, you know what I'm saying, on what the activities are of black people and try to coddle yourself up to white people that way. So how did you make it out? How are you not in the same financial position as this individual. Because those are the three main reasons. Yeah, you could create a business. That's very, very, very rare. But you're still in the space. You're still asking for money from that same hood rat born individual. You still would take $50 from him if he were to donate it through GoFundMe. It's not like you would see his name and be like, oh, well, get your money back. Funny.
If you were a real dude, you sit down with a player, or some players, or some other brothers, and just sit down and learn some game.
Game. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Let's move Cynthia G out the way.
Greetings, family. This is Tariq Nasheed. I am your community servant.
I'm sorry. Did he say I'm your community pimp? I'm sorry. Did he say I'm your community pimp? Back that up.
Greetings, family. This is Tariq Nasheed. I am your community servant. Right now, I am in South Los Angeles on the world-famous Crenshaw Boulevard. And with your help...
I'm sorry. Let me one more time. Did he say community
Greetings,
pimp?
family. This is Tariq Nasheed. I am your community servant.
No, he said community servant. He didn't say pimp. So I don't know why he's trying to tell this individual to go learn game. Wow.
That's a fatherless nigga right there.
Again, whenever you bring up fatherlessness, we're going to have to go right back to this. We're going to have to go right back to this. It's boring. There's a large amount of ERs in that nigger, right? In that nigger being used. There's a large amount of ERs being used there. But this is a historical document that tells you everything you need to know about family court. So every single time you want to talk about the the descendants of American slave family structure, you got to go back to this document. Tariq, the historian.
That's a nigga whose daddy wasn't there. That's a fatherless nigga who's emotional as fuck. No nigga sat him down and gave him game. So if he sees a black person doing something successful, he's supposed to hate on it.
Wow. So,
yeah?
So it's not a community servant. Let's go back. Go back. I'm going to keep on doing this. This is so annoying, but I'm going to keep on doing it. Let's go back. Are you a pimp? Are you a businessman?
Greetings, family. This is Tariq Nasheed. I am your community servant.
Oh, okay. So lying is a part of the game then? Because you...
Niggas sitting up, just lying back to back, trying to get a response. That nigga didn't bother me. I'm not about to get emotional over some fuck nigga.
I want to see the comments.
Just making shit up. This nigga just making shit up.
I want to see the comments. I want to see the comments at this point.
That's whole talk.
There's a reason why D doesn't have these comments
and that's the
showing.
Problem. We have to set better examples for little niggas like that.
Nah.
Hoe ass dudes. We have to. This is where we as black men come in. That's one of the reasons why we want to build a museum.
So he didn't answer a goddamn question, told him that he needs to go to find some pimps in his neighborhood in order for them to put him up on game, and then move directly into asking for for donations. Are you serious?
He wasn't trying to have a conversation. No. He was trying to project his emotional butthurt.
Wow.
He was engaging in a bunch of bad faith babble.
Bad faith babble. It's almost like he keeps on using this word salad in order to distract people from holding him to account. It's almost like that.
You dig? I'm like, what you gonna do? Talking all that rah-rah shit. Because you know if you talk that shit in person, you get every tooth out your mouth slapped.
Tariq Nasheed, you ain't gonna touch nobody. You ain't gonna touch not a goddamn person in any way, shape, fashion, or form. Even if they were to say those words to you directly to your fucking face. You ain't gonna do shit. A large amount of people, I'm gonna say this on both sides of the game. Anybody who would really fuck you up ain't gonna say they gonna fuck you up. Period. They ain't gonna say it. They just gonna get close enough to you to fuck you up and then fuck you up. They're not gonna do anything, and a person who really wants to fuck you up ain't thinking about getting any sort of weaponry to fuck you up. They're thinking about putting hands on you, hands and feet on you, right? So all these people who talk about violence, they ain't actually going to do anything. They ain't actually gonna do anything. Now, there's a different subset of people who talk about gun violence. If you're talking about gun violence, yeah, you're talking about gun violence because you're a coward and you want to threaten somebody with a gun. Yes, you're showing that you're a coward, and a coward would do cowardly things. But anybody who's really on an old school level, who's gonna actually slap or knock every tooth out, you're not gonna. I would be more scared. Me personally, as a grown ass, 6 foot tall, you know what I'm saying, 300 plus pound, possibly should lose some weight, 300 plus pound individual. I ain't scared of nobody who talks about that types of violence when it comes down to that. I'm not really scared of that direct sort of threat of physical. No, I'm not. Somebody who ain't talking a lot, somebody who just gets silent, somebody who just all of a sudden they start rocking back and forth, right? Doing sort of like personal soothing exercises. Those are the types of individuals that I'm truly scared of if I ever have to have a physical altercation with those individuals. Tariq Nasheed, you got punked. You feel a little bit emasculated by the young man talking to you so directly in such a public forum, and therefore you have to respond with a physical threat of violence back to that individual. Again, he was on point with everything he said until he decided to threaten you in any way, shape, fashion, or form physically. That was unacceptable. Everything else, that was on point. That was on point, including calling you a bitch ass motherfucker. That was completely on point. The physical threats of violence, that's completely unacceptable. I don't want a hair touched on your head. I want to be able to see you, Tariq Nasheed, when the grifting stops. When what people would consider you as grifting, when that stops, right? I would love to see you in your various hairstyles like a chick. You know what I'm saying? You come out with more hairstyles than a chick, boy, I tell you. I would like to see you when those hairstyles have to be paid for by your white zaddy directly, as opposed to you having to fleece or allegedly fleece or ask for donations undeservedly from the descendants of American slaves community. All right? I would like to see that. I would like to see what you look like on that payroll versus you being on the check from us. That's what I want to see. And I want to see it. I want to see what happens with your Dominican wife, you know what I'm saying, when she has to figure out, you know what I'm saying, when the water is rushing out of the pool, how much is she gonna try to grab for herself? I would love to see that as well, right? I would love to see all of those consequences for having a life that's dependent on taking money from us and taking legitimacy from us. I would like to see what happens when all of that stops. I don't want to have any violence done towards you in any way, shape, fashion, or form by anybody. And we all know that you ain't going to do shit to nobody. Your chapstick wearing ass ain't going to do shit to nobody. Not on a one-on-one, man-to-man. You ain't built like that, Tariq Nasheed, and you know it. Stop it. Just threaten the individual with a gun like you know you would do as a coward. But on a man-to-man level, that young man probably would lay your old ass out. Okay? On a man-to-man level type shit. Don't invite people to you like that. Ever. And don't threaten anybody like that ever. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Again, there is no talking when it comes down to that type of shit. There's no talking. It's just doing. So making threats like that online is completely unacceptable. All right? It was unacceptable when he did it to you. It's unacceptable now that you're trying to do it back. It's just weird.
Yeah, you know niggas like that. You ain't gonna say no shit like that in person.
Nigga, I would.
No, don't. If a nigga, first of all, any nigga woofing on the internet, all that rah-rah shit,
yeah.
I don't take serious.
Yeah, I would.
Nigga, because you are not gonna say that shit to me in
I
person.
would.
Nigga, I'll kick you dead in your
You wouldn't do shit to me.
Talking that dumb shit.
You wouldn't do shit to me. Because I wouldn't threaten you in any way, shape, fashion, or form. So I damn sure would say the exact same shit he said to you directly to your face.
That's how hoes act. That's how hoes act when you finger them and then don't call them. That's how they act. That's the nigga PMS. That
and
nigga
see,
Boochie Cat is bleeding.
And see, here's the problem with it. You see how he's making these little homophobic remarks? Let's stop. We got to make sure that we keep our intelligence together. He's trying to defend the baby. Oh, no, he's not. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's jump earlier. 4325 is where we're at right now. Let's go to the baby. Hold on. Let me see. I don't know if it's that area. Let's see. Let's see.
That they're doing with the rapper, the baby. This fake outrage that they're doing against the baby, number one, it's in bad faith. Number two, this is an exercise in them getting on code. White society gets on code based on how much they can punish us. They always use black people as a scapegoat in order to codify their ideologies. You understand? They codify their ideologies. They all get on the same page by using one of us as the lynch boy. You understand? This is what they're doing to the baby. What they're doing to the baby, they're making an example out of him to get black society in line.
No, they're not. He did something stupid, and they're using the fact that he did something stupid against him. This has nothing to do with black society. We don't have a vested interest in this weirdo person that we know nothing about. I don't have an interest in him. I don't care. He got up on stage as a public figure and in a public arena or in a public venue said shit that he probably shouldn't have. He should have rapped, got his check, and fucking left. But he said all this other shit. Now he's in hot water with other groups. Who cares? That has shit to do with us. See, again. So, again, we have to say this once again. So, once again, with Roland Martin, right? Roland Martin saying all this stupid shit, right? They always use our struggle to try to inject life into other people's situations. So when it comes down to this voting rights thing, it doesn't really help us if we give a whole bunch of white Latinos the right to vote. And in addition to us doing that, our grandmama can get a glass of water in a long ass line to vote, right? That doesn't help. That doesn't help us as black people, right? But using our imagery does help the legislation have legitimacy. What is he doing? What is this other son of Ruckus doing? Using our struggle to try to cover up some rapper that is completely unacceptable within our community, frankly. Some random ass rapper, right? So once again, they keep on trying to fold that in, but he's right here saying, oh, well, you shouldn't go after the baby. You shouldn't go after the baby because he didn't really do anything wrong. But yet still back here. Let's hear what he said.
That's the nigga PMSing. That nigga Boochie Cat is bleeding.
Yeah, Boochie Cat and all this other little stupid shit. Right? So he, once again, is starting to make all these little weirdo, homophobic type remarks and shit like that, which gives that term more legitimacy. You're using references to homosexuality in order to defame this individual out of the legitimate arguments that he was making against your organization. As opposed to you directly responding to his questions and queries, you're just basically trying to use those types of terms. So that what that does is that strengthens that community's legitimacy in going after those terms, right? It strengthens the homosexual, the LGBTQ community. Every single time you start demeaning another man for actually holding you to account, Tariq Nasheed, are you not intelligent enough to realize that? You're defending the baby for saying something stupid while also going out and when it was personally available for you to do so, you're trying to use all these terms in order to get over on this guy. I really want to see the comments at this point. Yeah,
these little old frail niggas who've been bullied and shit. That's why we gotta have our museum so that we can build manhood with we gotta
What
show
the fuck?
these dudes that there are black
This is a
men out here
weirdo pivot.
building some things.
This is a
There's
weirdo
black
pivot.
men out here that's lacing you
You're
with
not building shit. You're begging for money from broke people in order to build something useless. That if you actually built a 69 unit housing apartment complex in the same parcel, third of an acre, you could actually make a hell of a lot more money, right? So it makes no business sense either. I'm sorry, but the Hidden History Museum makes no business sense. That's the other basic level or basic problem I have with it. It makes no business sense. I mean, a Hidden History Museum is great. Awesome. Cool. That's what you want? Awesome. But in the middle of a gentrified area, it makes no business sense at all. Because business acumen is compatible with white supremacy. Business acumen is compatible with the dominant society still getting more and more money accumulated in their hands. So you going along with gentrification is in the interest of white supremacy, right? So you touting your business acumen is really just touting your ties to a large amount of those capitalist white supremacists in that area doing the same gentrification that you want to jump in on.
You dig?
Where are the comments?
And fuck nigga, to your question about the money. If we don't raise the money, I repeatedly said this is how stand up I am. This is how much of a stand up dude I am.
Okay.
Our crowdfunding campaign, I've made it so that if we do not reach that $1 million, all the money is going to go back to the people automatically.
Oh, okay.
We're already at 300,000 right now. We're at 300,000. We're going to get that damn million. But even let's hypothetically say, let's say we got 700,000, which we're at least going to get that because we got 2 more weeks. We got 300,000 in 2 weeks. We got 2 more weeks.
Oh,
so
he's doing calculations, ain't he?
I think we can get the whole thing. But let's say we got close to $1 million. If we don't get $1 million, everybody's still going to get their money back. Now, if this was some nefarious shit I was doing, I just keep the money. I don't want people's money if we're not going to build nothing because I don't need it.
Okay, we're going to hold you to that. We're going to hold you to that.
Would you give, if somebody gave you $500,000, would you give it back, nigga?
It's interesting that he said $500,000. It's interesting that he said $500,000 because I believe that that's probably what they're going to end up getting. The question is, can you borrow money, borrow money from one LLC, donate that money through Indiegogo to another nonprofit that you also own and have that be legal? That's the real question, right? That's the real question I have. Because on a basic level, if I was having my business acumen on, which business acumen means that I'm thinking in compatible ways with white supremacy, if I were to think that, right, then I would think to myself, hey, well, let me borrow the rest of the money, put it towards the campaign, get the $500,000 out, pay my fees. At least I'm $500,000 richer minus the fees. That's what I would be thinking. That's what I would be thinking from a business mindset, not a serving the black community or serving the descendants of American slave community. That's the mindset I would have. So that's the real question. That's the real question. And okay.
You $500,000, would you give it back? I am. I'm gonna give it back. If I just get $500,000, I'm giving the shit back.
We gonna see
$500,000.
And if the guy calling him out just put him on record of having to do that, then hey, that man deserves another round of fucking applause. If him calling him out publicly is him now making Tariq Nasheed be on the record as having to give that money back if it's not fully raised, if what he did nothing more than just that, great job, young man. Don't threaten anybody physically ever again. But other than that, great job. Great job, young man. You put him on record.
We're going to get this museum or we not going to get it. You understand? Either we going to get it or we not. And to get it, we need at least $1 million. You understand? You said there's no way. Of course, we can get $1 million. Well, we already got 300K.
Yeah. Okay. It was a 30-day campaign. You didn't break 333,000 within the first 10 days. You actually should have, with that bell curve that I would think that would apply to donations. Maybe there's a double bell curve. Maybe there's a last minute push towards the end if you're close enough, right? Maybe if people do see like $750,000, then maybe they would donate a little bit more if there's only 5 days left and it's at $750,000. Maybe there's a double bell curve to that donation schedule. But if it's just a generic bell curve, then you're gonna get the most of your money. You're gonna get it in the first couple of days, right? In the first couple of days. And if you didn't pass the third of the way by a third of the time, which you didn't pass $333,000 before 10 days, I think it's going to be very challenging for you to raise the remainder of the near $700,000 you need between now and the end of the campaign. But again, we'll see how that works out. We'll see if there's a magical donor who comes in and donates a large amount of money.
We got 300K in 2 weeks. We can get $1 million. Don't get it twisted.
Okay. From who?
Oh, we can get $1 million.
I want to see the comments, man.
Oh, yes,
I want
we
to see
can.
the comments. Dee did
And
her
yes, we
job,
will.
didn't she? She made sure to
Yes,
get a
we
video
can,
without
and
any
yes,
comments.
we will. And that fuck nigga, I want you to come to the museum.
Nah.
We're going to have a Lil Nas X exhibit so that you can come in and be right at home.
Little Nas X. Oh, should I? I can't. But if you look at the baby's latest video, which I had to subject myself to and had to turn it off, there's a prison scene in the baby's latest video as well, where there's violence going on in the cells and he's getting fellatio as well. Hey, could somebody say something in the chats real quick? This chat is frozen on me. Could somebody say something in the chats real quick? But yeah, it's very interesting that he's going down that road because the rapper that he wants to basically have us do PR work for did the exact same thing as Little Nas X.
But yeah, we're going to get it. We're going to get that thing. But boy, let me tell you, we got to get it to the point where you got boys out here who's pocket watching other dudes. When you a grown
charity.
Man,
that's interesting.
Whining about what another nigga's driving, how another nigga's house is like, what vacations I'm on. Let me talk to black boys out here, because I'm raising some black boys. Let me talk to my black boys. Black boys don't ever be a fuck boy pocket watcher whining about what another man has.
Oh no.
As a man, that's...
See, this is the type of inverted logic of a pimp, right? Very close to a pimp. Don't worry about what I got, ho. Don't worry about the Cadillac that you helped pay for, bitch. Take your ass back out there on the street and sell that pussy, ho. Don't worry about what I got. This is pimp talk. This is pimp talk.
So unbecoming as a man. That's the epitome of bitch. If you a dude whining about what another man is driving, how another man is living, who he's fucking, what vacation he's on. Nothing is more disgusting as a man than that. You understand? There's absolutely nothing more disgusting than
See, their definition of men shift with their attacks. So if somebody is attacking them, then their definition of a man will shift toward whatever will actually help them in that situation, right? So in that situation, it's like, well, the definition of a man is don't ask me no questions about my charity. The definition of a man happens to go along with you not doing this type of shit and you not doing that type of shit, right? No, you don't define manhood for anybody. I'm sorry, sir. You don't define manhood. You define manhood for yourself. That other individual defined manhood for himself, and standing up to you, he defined that as manhood. And he did a very good fucking job because at least he got you on the goddamn record of saying that you're going to give that money back. Now we're going to see the shenanigans that happens in order for you to have that statement you just said out your mouth become the truth. I hope, for God, that $999,999 is the last we see of this fund, because we have to remember that it's not $7 million.
Yes.
Back up. It's not $7 million. Let's remind ourselves of how much money he's actually asking for. Roundabout here.
Need your help. We need at least $7 million to get this project completed.
And I know exactly all these timestamps because making that video, I had to remember all of this stuff, so I know where everything is.
And we're going to start doing everything in stages. We need at least $1 million in the first phase to get the museum project off the ground so that we can acquire the land. Everybody who contributes to the museum, we're going to start doing everything. We need at least $7 million to get this project completed. And we're going to start doing everything in stages.
So first stage is $1 million. The next stage, is it going to be what, another million, or going to be 2 million? 500,000, 250,000. They're just gonna keep on doing these donation rolls until they get the $7 million. That's what it seems like. He said we need at least $7 million, not at least $1 million. We need at least $7 million in order to get the museum, and we're starting with $1 million.
Stages. We need at least $1 million in the first phase to get the museum project off the ground so that we can acquire the land. Everybody who...
And we all know from my other thing that this land is on Realtor.com and on Zillow.com for $3 million. So that first $1 million, if you were to talk about buy or getting a loan on the property, it would be able to purchase the property for what was that, 33% down, 33.33% down of the property. Probably you can negotiate the price at that point downward because it's been out there for 100 and some days, but still the location is so prime that probably you won't be able to negotiate that much. Maybe you'd be able to negotiate taking off some of the price for clearing the property, right? But that money, I'm assuming, would go to the down payment on that $3 million property. So that's just the land, right? That's just the land. And even the land right there has value. It has value, has value. If he decides not to put the property, or not to put the Hidden History Museum on there, it still has value. All right, you can still hold it and sell it and do nothing else if he needed to. Clean it up, hold it and sell it, and still make money in 12 to 18 months. Right? So it's just a mess. It's just a mess.
Nothing says lack of manhood than that.
See?
You understand?
And see, let's go back. Let's go back. What he's playing on. We got to always go back and see what he's playing on. See, this is again what these sons of Ruckus don't like. What he's playing on is this. The one with the nigger male offspring, she being frozen with a subconscious fear for his life, will raise him to be mentally dependent and weak, but physically strong. In other words, body over mind. So when he defines manhood in a certain way, right, and says that a person is being a bitch if they're using their brain to analyze a situation and ask intelligent questions, he's relying on black men, specifically descendants of American slaves, being mentally weak enough to go along with his mental manipulation. Right? There we go.
Yeah.
He's still talking about the situation. I want to see the chat, man.
That's a fuckboy.
I want to see the chat.
There's some moist little bitch nigga who called.
I want to see the chat.
You dig?
Nah, I don't dig shit. I want to see the chat. Let me search for this in another window.
We got
I want to see
15
the chat.
days to get the.
Because I guarantee you
the
they
rest
was
of that
lighting his
paper.
ass up. I
It sound like
guarantee
the
you
mad
they was
rapper.
lighting his ass up.
Yeah, a grown nigga worried about another grown nigga.
Nah,
Like,
nigga. He was
hating
asking,
is
he
gonna
was
make me
asking
get
some
back on
very
the plane
good
and
questions.
get back off vacation.
He was asking
Alright,
some
nigga.
very good questions.
Mad bitch niggas don't stop nothing.
Nah, fuck all that.
You
He was asking
understand?
some very good questions.
Come to Tokyo. I was gonna come to Tokyo, but the flights back home are just ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, you dig.
Yeah, see, that's why we're very transparent with everything. We're letting people know exactly how much money is being raised. Everything is transparent. See, a lot of people want to project their own scam artist mentality. They projecting. And we talked about Renoco. We did talk about
Where is the
Renoco.
chat?
Yeah. We talked about Renogo. Yeah.
Somebody else reposted the video,
And
but
the
they don't
good
have
thing
the
about
chat.
us, family, and look, we got to understand that there's toxicity baked in the cake when it comes to us getting stuff together. So that's why I ain't tripping on anybody whining about what we're doing. I already know that's going to happen.
Listen, stop that. It's not about that. It's not about, oh, well, there's natural resistance to us coming together. No, it ain't that, nigga. Everybody sees problems. Everybody can smell the grift, nigga. That's what's going on. Stop playing games like people don't see what the hell is going on. Like they don't smell something foul. All right? If you keep smelling shit, there's shit somewhere. Okay? I don't know of anybody who has smelled shit and there not been shit. Like, damn. Wait. I smell shit, but there ain't shit. No, if you smell shit, usually there's shit somewhere, right? Well, maybe you didn't flush the toilet. Maybe you stepped in some shit. Maybe that fart wasn't a fart, right? Don't matter. If you smell shit, typically it's shit somewhere, okay? So it's just that people are smelling shit there, Tariq. But I want to see this chat, man. The beautiful thing now, I might even subscribe to him on Instagram. Or we'll just say subscribe to him on Instagram or check him out on Instagram. There we go. Because I don't believe these chats are going to ever show up in these videos ever again. I want to see what these people were saying in this chat to this particular video. I may have to go to Instagram and figure that out because I guarantee you they were lighting his ass the fuck up. He was getting lit the fuck up. That's the reason why Miss D. Tubman running interference for Tariq Nasheed didn't have this chat showing in this video.
Because like our brother Neely Fuller said, so many black folks, unfortunately, have been indoctrinated with poison. Black people, so many of us, we have a poisonous ass mentality. When we get around each other, we get poison niggas who come and try to just make everything toxic. So knowing that going in, we good. So when they come around, we don't trip on it. Well, bitch niggas like that, we already know they're going to be around. We play past that. That's why our campaign.
So niggas exposing, translation, niggas exposing me and fucking up my game. We already calculated that into the mix. We already know that's gonna happen. We already have a way of handling that. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying.
Is doing so well. They're filled with poison. That's an unfortunate thing. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you another thing. That's another reason why there are a lot of folks who don't want us to get no real power, where we're calling shots. Because let me tell you something. When black folks, when us, the empowerment community, when we start calling shots.
The empowerment community.
Nick.
AKA Sons of Ruckus.
That toxic shit's going to go out the door. See, white people, the white supremacists, they enable toxic niggas. They enable hood rats. They enable. This is circular game right here, boy. This is putting your problems on the victims of your actions, right? This is how they treat your stinking toxic ass. I'm not getting interviews by the same LA Times that's covering up, issues with police officers at the LAPD, right? I'm not getting interviewed by media outlets that basically don't want to talk about reparations. You are, sir. So you're the puppet of white supremacy, not anybody else who's calling you out. It's interesting. Dusty niggas. Dusty niggas and hood rats are a creation of white supremacist society. They enable them.
Yes, they are. Not dusty niggas. That's a qualified term of anybody or an ad hominem attack on anybody who has a problem with you. But so far as dysfunctional families and the results of those families, yes, once again, that is definitely something that is created by white supremacy.
You understand? When we get in power, we ain't gonna have no use for no dusty ass crab in the barrel nigga. And they know it.
Oh, okay.
You get around some black folks who are about some business, you are useless.
Business. 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 I'm going to keep on doing this. This is so annoying and repetitive. Business. Okay. You're a
Greetings, family. This is Tariq Nasheed. I am your community servant.
Community fucking servant. Do community servants engage in capitalistic business, or do they serve the interest of a community? I'm sorry.
As tits on a boat. That's why niggas like that, they hate being around black folks who talk about business, because your presence is...
Greetings, family. This is Tariq Nasheed. I am your community servant. Right.
Community servant or businessman. Which are you?
Useless around black folks who are about business. Notice...
God damn it. God damn it, you son of a bitch.
Greetings, family. This is Tariq Nasheed. I am your community servant.
Community servant or businessman, you bitch. Don't say it again, goddammit. I don't want to show this video. Don't say it again. Don't say it again, bitch.
Black people, whenever you start talking about business, somebody always...
damn it. God damn it. Son of a bitch. Are you a
Greetings, family.
Man?
This is Tariq Nasheed. I am your community servant.
Or community fucking servant, ho. God damn it.
To start talking about partying and turning up and doing some stupid shit. Anytime you talk about business, somebody...
When we talk about your museum, again, are we talking about business?
Greetings, family. This is Tariq Nasheed. I am your community servant.
Thank you. You are a community servant or you are a capitalistic businessman? Which is it?
Somebody's always trying to drag you into doing some stupid shit.
One more again, motherfucker. One more again.
That's why most of you guys, especially some of my black folks who are business owners, most of the time you are by yourself, planning and organizing and getting shit together.
That is not the reason why they're by themselves when they're planning and doing other shit. The reason why they're by themselves is because they are exceptions to the white supremacist rule, and that could actually be brought back into the fold over time. A large amount of first-time business owners lose their business within the first 2 to 3 years, right? So at the end of the day, you don't. In many cases, you don't have a successful business until your second or third attempt at having a business. But your first or second or your first attempt, you're typically going without a salary for most of the beginning of your venture into owning your own business. Most black people without the adequate wealth and family support that is needed and access to capital, usually those businesses fail. Why am I having to explain this to a black empowerment leader? Why am I having to explain this to somebody who is touting themselves as a historian within the black community, specifically the descendants of American slave community with a direct experience to white supremacy when it comes down to these areas? Why am I having to do that? Maybe it's because you're not really for black empowerment. Maybe it's because you see black empowerment as just another business venture.
Go somewhere and be alone. And if you're a black business owner, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Sometimes you just got to cut everybody off temporarily and just go by yourself and strategize without all your people being around you.
Yeah, sometimes you have to do that as a business person. But once again...
Greetings, family. This is Tariq Nasheed. I am your community servant.
Do you have to do that as a community servant? Do you have to do that as a community servant? I told you, there's so many things in this video if I were to, I did that video in bed, Tariq, in bed. I literally woke up in the morning, decided, hey, I want to go ahead and do this video. Did it about 2 or 3 hours in bed, or probably like 4 hours in bed while I woke up on a Saturday morning, did the whole video, did some other shit, and then posted it. right? But if I really went through this video, there's so many problems. The first thing is, the first thing out of your mouth is a problem. You have never been a community servant. I don't know why you put yourself like that, but let's hear it once again.
Greetings, family. This is Tariq Nasheed. I am your community servant.
There you go. So you're a community servant, but now are you a pimp in the
Because
Maldives?
you know somebody's going to start trying to talk you into some dumb shit or something non-productive. And y'all, all my constructive, if you got degrees, all my folks out there who got degrees and all that, you had to go somewhere by yourself and sit down.
Yes, all the people with degrees. Why am I having to go this? Why am I having to do this? Okay, if you have a degree, you most likely are a black woman, right? You're a black woman who has a degree. You're typically, or by the statistics, you're not a black male who has a degree. Either way, your wealth position, why am I having to say this or explain this to a black empowerment leader? It's quite interesting, but it doesn't matter. Your wealth position going into college means that unless you went into college with a scholarship, meaning you got a pat on the head by a white supremacist who said, good job there, boy or girl, here's some money so you can go to school because we know that you're going to end up being a nice little tool for us later. Or you went to school and paid a shit ton of money, or you went to school and came out with a shit ton of debt. That debt, combined with your lack of wealth institutionally, means that most likely when you come out of school, in order to pay those debts, you're probably going to be working for a white company. And you're probably going to be doing a whole bunch of shit that doesn't empower black people, specifically descendants of American slaves. So touting the fact that somebody has a degree, what the hell are you doing there? You're noting, hey, well, before you became a debt slave who worked in a white company serving a white person and their interests, blah blah. You had to get away and do this and that and the third. But Tariq, what are you doing so far as those people's wealth positions? Because white people can go through or take on the same levels of debt. The reason why is because they have more wealth to tap from. Right? And their families have more wealth to tap from. Being black in America or being a descendant of American slaves mean, damn, I'm broke. Shit, my mama broke. Damn, my daddy broke. Damn, my auntie broke. Yeah, I would ask money from my uncle, but he uppity and he stuck up and he stick to himself. So my cousins broke. My grandparents broke. White people don't have that problem. White people don't have that problem. They have degrees of how well off other people are, but they themselves are not necessarily broke, right? In our situation, we have multiple people who, when you calculate their wealth position, all the people within that family, or the majority of the people within that family, with few exceptions to the rule, are broke. So in a white person taking on a large amount of educational debt, they can do that. And they also can do that because, Tariq, when they get out of their university, they can go over to the white supremacy organized HR department of a large company and get a job at that company, Tariq Nasheed. Whereas the black person with a weird black name, which is already proven, Tariq, if they have a black sounding name on their resume, they just don't call them back. So even if they do have their degrees, they're dealing with white supremacy that's going to affect their wealth position and their income position and everything else in their life that is tied to that financial position or financial condition. What are you doing about that? There is this thing. What is it called? It's called reparations for descendants of American slaves. That would directly help those people, just so you know. Stupid fuck.
Down and concentrate. We had to get away from everybody. That's what it is. That's why it's important for us to create spaces like what we doing, empowerment spaces, so that we can be around each other, so that we can build. Man, the Hidden Colors series was such a great thing, and it was such a different thing. When we put out the Hidden Colors film, when we start doing the screenings, one thing that we noticed, whenever we had the screenings, the people who came did not want to leave. If y'all been to a Hidden Color screening, you notice that the people in the audience, after the movie is over, the people are still just there.
I'm proud to say I've never watched a one of those goddamn things. I have never watched a one. I have never put a dime or a dollar in your pocket, bitch. Outside of the multiple ads that run on your YouTube channel, thanks to YouTube. Outside of that, the 0.0001 penny that I put in your pocket, and then the brand value that's added by viewership, right? I've not put a dollar directly in your pocket at all. I'm proud to say that. So don't talk about me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hours after the movie is ended, because they're so happy and appreciative being in a room with other like-minded people who are constructive like them. You don't.
And what did I say? It's almost like I need to pull up my own comments at this point. I said that basically that he was just trying to get away with giving people an in crowd or a false in crowd, a false sense of in crowdness. Let me find that comment. And while he's talking, hold on.
Want to leave? You're like, fuck. Where have all these people been all my damn life? Now it's a room full of people. We're all on the same page trying to build. Man, I don't want this to end. You know?
As long.
Hold on.
Nobody wants to leave. You want to be around like-minded people, and it's so rare for us to be around like-minded people who are all on the page of empowerment. That's why we had our FBA conference, which was a phenomenal thing. We got all those black business owners in one place down in Atlanta. Man, we had a ball down there having all of these like-minded people. Again, with the Hidden Color series and the FBA.
Nigga, just get to a point. Is that over? Oh, thank you. Oh, damn.
That's made having the conference and having the Hidden Color series and the movies. That's one of the things that made me want to have a museum, so that we can have a place, a stationary institution where like-minded, empowered people can go all year round. That was the purpose of creating the Hidden History Museum. That's why, that's a very passionate project of mine.
Pause, nigga. Pause. So I keep telling y'all, it's almost like I'm psychic when it comes down to some of this shit. Let's see why I said that. Right? I told you about the in-crowdness, right?
As long.
Almost predictive. Almost predictive. It's like my 3 rules are just really, really good, right? Now on to Tariq. Tariq is a pimp, not directly, but definitely, in my opinion, a metaphysical pimp. If he had to spout Jesse Lee Peterson or Candace Owens' talking points to get on, he would, in my opinion. If he knew he could get $100 million off of the Van Jones playbook, he would build a time machine and cry snot bubbles on CNN for it tomorrow and say to hell with Ogun juice. But in this timeline, he is setting up a cultural store catered to the pain of the black struggle, not in service to curing their pain, but in the service of treating temporarily with validation and a thin veil of in-crowd inclusion. It's like selling water. See, that's the selling water to the desert part, right? Let's go back. What did we talk about hidden colors?
Had our FBA conference, which was a phenomenal thing. We got all those black business owners had our people who came did not want to leave. If y'all been to a Hidden Color screening, you notice that the people in the audience, after the movie is over, the people are still just there. Hours after the movie is ended, because they're so happy and appreciative being in a room with other like-minded people who are constructive like them. You don't want to leave. You're like, fuck, where have all these people been all my damn life? Now it's a room full of people. We're all on the same page trying to build. Man, I don't want this to end. You know?
And that is the value that he's trading. Validation and a false sense of in-crowd inclusion. That is basically what, you know what that translates to? That's translating to the pulpit pimp has moved to black empowerment as his hustle, as opposed to white Jesus. That's what that means. That means that's the same problems that you can assign to the black church, right? Validation and in-crowd inclusion, or a false sense of in-crowd inclusion, all right? So we got a clique growing on here. Yeah, we all clicked up. Yeah, y'all think the same way we do. Blah, 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 blah. That's what he's selling. That's the water next to the desert. That's what he's selling.
Mama Section 8 apartment. Man, black people are supposed to do normal shit. I want us to get off this bullshit where we do normal shit like raise a family and go on vacations with our families. There's some insidious motivation behind it. No, nigga, that's what people are supposed to do.
Nigga. I'm sorry. Has anybody in the chat been to the Maldives? I'll even make it more general. Has anybody in the chat been to Dubai? That's normal shit according to Tariq Nasheed. So if you're not doing it, that means you're abnormal. It's abnormal if you have not been to the Maldives and took your entire family to the Maldives for vacation. By saying it's normal, that means the opposite is abnormal, Tariq, dummy. So therefore, if you're saying that going to Dubai is normal with your entire family, then not doing so is abnormal. I don't know of any descendants of American slaves not popping it on a Saudi prince's who's making regular trips to Dubai, especially if they're descendants of American slaves, because of our wealth position. You're talking about individuals who are the top 1% of the 1% within our culture. Yes, many of those people are taking trips like that all the time. That's normal for them. It's not normal for you to be doing that. And then not only you're doing that in the middle while also raising money from those same broke people who can't afford to go there and do that. You're raising money from them while you're doing that. So here's what you should do, Tariq. Here's what you should do. Go find all the black people who are vacationing in Dubai right now and ask for money from them right now. You should solely fundraise amongst the people who could fly to Dubai and fly to the Maldives in the middle of a pandemic. Raise money from those people.
Black folks are not supposed to be last. We're not supposed to be sitting around in the projects hating. That's abnormal, nigga. That's not normal.
See, he's trying to set the standards, right? But when you zoom out, what he's talking about is self-defined tokenism, which is another comment I can find that I've already placed on one of my videos before as well. What he's talking about is self-defined tokenism. That's what he's talking about when he's going down this road. He's saying, well, I'm going to define what tokenism is acceptable in this group of people. And you guys are going to go along with it because I'm the leader of this organization. That's what the fuck he's just saying.
That's imprisonment. Yeah, well, the nigga, if you ain't in your mama's Section 8 apartment and you're doing normal shit with a normal family going on normal trips.
No, nigga. Do I have to? Do I have to bring out Tone's shoddy ass graph in order to show the wealth position of black people in this country? Do I have to do that? God damn it, I gotta do it. Fuck. Son of a bitch, you. What is it? Federal Reserve. God damn you, Tariq. God damn you. God damn you, Tariq. God damn you, sir. Do you see this graph? I'm not going to go down to explaining it, but do you see this graph? See that? See that? See that? This part right here, this in vivo transfers of wealth, this is why Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore are DOA when it comes down to ADOS AF, because they lost Sandy Darity, which was generating a large amount of this data for them directly. Sandy Darity's data shows up in the Federal Reserve reports. Right? He's a very prominent economist. Or not economist. He studies specifically wealth disparities. Oh no, I think he is actually an economist. Let me look that up. Let me make sure. Sandy Darity. We'll come back to this. We'll come back. Trust me. I gotta do boring shit. All because this motherfucker is making allegations without actually doing anything. Let me see here. North Carolina, magna cum laude. Yeah, economics and political science, right? And I think he also went to MIT, right? He did MIT as well. Yep. Massachusetts Institute of Technology. He got his PhD in what? Oh, doctorate of philosophy? Okay. They don't say MIT up here. So that's why Yvette and Carnell and Antonio Moore losing a relationship with this individual is extremely damning to ADOS, because his research and work shows up in prominent investigations of wealth disparity. But let's go back to a more simple graph, right? It's median net worth. You see black people here. See Hispanic people, which is really white Latinos, here. You see other people here. All right. See this other graph there. See that? I don't feel like going through this because I would have to read the entire article in order for me to intelligently explain it. So I'm not going to do that. You can just look at the graphs. So let's go back to your stupid ass statement, Tariq. Let's go back to your stupid ass statement after you made me do something very boring.
That's imprisonment. Yeah, well, the nigga, if you ain't in your mama's Section 8 apartment and you're doing normal shit with a normal...
Yeah, so if you're not in your mom's Section 8 apartment, even though this is your net worth as a group, if you're not in your mama's Section 8 apartment, well, it would seem like being in a Section 8 apartment is normal for descendants of American slaves, and you claiming to be a black empowerment leader, and I have to go back, I know for the umpteenth thousandth time, I have to go back to this.
As long.
No, not that. This. And you also claiming to be a what again?
Greetings, family. This is Tariq Nasheed. I am your community servant.
And you're also supposed to be a community servant. You should know that being on Section 8 and being a descendant of American slaves is not a point to insult somebody. It's our normal lives. That is normality for us. Being broke, being in jail, being ignorant and stupid without any real education, that is normal life for descendants of American slaves. And if you have anything slightly above that, you are an exception to the normal rule. Being impoverished to that level is normal for descendants of American slaves. But you not knowing that is acceptable, or not acceptable, but it's predictable for a person who doesn't advocate for reparations and instead decides that he wants to advocate for a useless fucking pop-up wall diorama disguised as a museum.
Family going on normal trips, niggas think that that's odd. What the hell is all that? Vacation and shit? Nigga, you must be from another planet or something.
Nigga, we went through the money that you paid for this trip. That's just for Dubai. If you went to the Maldives as well, I'm fairly confident this trip is over $20,000 or $30,000. Most descendants of American slaves would have to sell everything that they have in order for them to get $20,000 or $30,000. And even if they did, their wealth position, which is assets minus liabilities, would actually be placed in a much worse situation if they were to do so, because they would still owe all the money for the credit cards, student loans, and everything else that they have, right? Would still be weighing down on them when they came back from their vacation trying to be like you. That is abnormal.
What kind of shit is that? This is how white supremacists...
And doing so while you're asking for money from broke and institutionally impoverished people like descendants of American slaves. Simultaneously doing those two things is what exposes you for what you are, which, trust me, I have some choice words for that, in my opinion, so far as that is concerned, sir.
has just destroyed niggas' mindsets. We think down is up and up is down. We think squalor and dysfunction is normal. No, nigga. You're supposed to be raising families and going on vacations with your families. Doing normal shit. Only niggas in our community think that's weird. The hell is all that?
I wonder why they think it's so weird. I wonder why they think it's so weird.
If you're raising a healthy fucking family and shit, feeding them, they eating good, drinking good, you up here driving nice cars and not living in squalor, the hell is wrong with you, nigga?
Nobody's
nothing but the devil and the Illuminati.
He said, what are you going to do with the money? Are you going to basically buy more cars and do all this other stuff? He was talking about what you're going to do with the money. Hold on. Let me let this person talk.
No, dude. Black folks, we are powerful people. We're supposed to walk in our power. We're supposed to walk in our purpose. We're supposed to live in our purpose. I just don't talk it. I'm going to show you how we're supposed to do it. You understand? I just don't talk empowerment. I live empowerment. See, a lot of niggas are used to folks talking that what you need to do bullshit, but they right there in the projects with you. So that's not, doesn't bother you. Y'all just sitting up making each other comfortable. And
I wonder why. I wonder why that's occurring, sir. I wonder why. Trust me, I'm going to read this and we're going to have a more in-depth analysis of this. But right now, I'm not going to try to read it. It's very obvious on this level. I'll read it and we'll go through a very much more detailed analysis of this later. But right now, it's the picture is worth 1,000 words for what we need to discuss to counter what the hell he's talking about.
Captivity. No, I'm going to show you about empowerment because I walk in empowerment. I live empowerment. I live group economics. I'm always supporting other groups and organizations, and other groups and organizations always support me. That's how we do it. Yeah? Yeah, that nigga think, yeah, these niggas think going down to Miami is doing it big. You know, that type.
Nigga, you ain't in Miami. You're in Dubai you're in the Maldives having visited also Dubai. Get the fuck out of here. You ain't in Miami, dude. You ain't in Miami.
Shit, I really want us to get out that small ass mind frame. But my battery's about to die. Let me get out of here, guys.
Yeah, anyway, I'm sure it is. That nigga roasted your ass. Let's go back to that shit. He roasted your ass. There ain't nothing wrong with your battery, nigga. If they were boosting your head up, you would have another half hour to go. Stop it. Stop lying.
You coward. Say what you gotta say, man. Get online.
go back.
I'll answer your question if you get on. Hold on.
Roasted his ass.
Wait.
Barbecued his ass.
Red
Put
Jack.
sauce on it afterwards.
White supremacists, get on. You've been in here
White
trolling.
supremacists. You're
You're a
assuming
white
he's white.
supremacist troll.
Yeah, okay.
You've been in here whining. Whenever black people
Stop
start doing
making
it, there you
assumptions.
go. All
Man,
right.
black man, get your goofy ass on, man.
Okay, first of all,
I'm just tired of you pimping our people, grifting our people. You gonna get the people their money back when you don't reach your goal? What you gonna do with the if you don't reach the million? Okay. If you don't reach the $1 million goal, are you gonna send the people their money back, or are you gonna go on more trips with your non-FBA wife? Huh? Are you gonna buy another Bentley with the money, or are you gonna get the people their money back? Because you're not gonna reach that goal in 19 days. Why is it 19 days? You got a trip planned in 19 days that you got to pay for? Why is it a deadline so short?
Why you acting like an emotional bitch, bro?
Because you grifting on our people. You taking money from people that work hard to buy Bentleys and vacations. I don't see you doing no community work. All you do is take trips with your Mexican, Puerto Rican ass wife. But you talk about all this black power, this, black that. But you got a fucking Puerto Rican wife. She ain't even black. Tell the people that.
So
tell the people that. No, tell the people that. What you gonna do with the money? You gonna take more trips? Who fund your trips?
This is somebody.
The money from the books. The money from the books fund your trips.
This is a single mother.
You spending money from our people. Nigga used to write pimp books talking about how to pimp black women and how white women was better than black women. You said that shit. You must don't remember that shit. You used to write books about how to pimp on black women. You don't remember that, nigga? You a fake ass nigga. You ain't a real nigga. You ain't about the black people, nigga. You talk about pimping hoes. You talk about pimping black women. You do anything to make money. And this your new grip. It's to anything to do. Nigga, I'll beat your ass. Come to Chicago, I'll whoop your ass. On my mom.
You're not gonna do shit. You a fuck boy.
See, that was a setup. That now I'm looking back at it, it was a setup. He said, "What you gonna do about it?" Because he knew he was gonna go to something violent. And even if he needed to go to something violent to end the call, he was basically trying to goad him to go down that road so he can end the call real quick with that bullshit. Listen. Tariq Nasheed. Listen, man. We gonna see what's gonna happen. I'm gonna put it to you for like this. We gonna see what's gonna happen. We gonna see what's gonna happen with this money. My estimation, that shit hit just like you sort of let go. And if it hit $500,000, you're gonna be remiss not to get that money up out of there some way, somehow. You're gonna be remiss for that goal not to be reached some way, somehow, right? It's gonna be weird if you get $500,000 up in there and then somehow it doesn't. That money just stays and goes back to the people, right? We're gonna see how that happens. We're gonna see how whether or not in the last like 2, 3, 4, 5 days you just the clock gets run up on some of this stuff, and you know what I'm saying, and all of a sudden the goal is hit in the last couple of days. We're gonna see how that works. It should go naturally. It should basically be something that's organic, right? But we're gonna see how that happens. You have to remember, Indiegogo is probably gonna keep a record of those donations and their sources. So just keep that in mind, sir, when you're doing that. Just keep that in mind. But we're going to see what's going to happen with your money. But to this individual, I'm going to wrap this up. But to this individual, thank you so much. You got him on code. Next time, don't bite the bullet of threatening anybody physically. Just don't do that, because that was something he was setting you up for. But other than that, you did a great job, young man. You did a very good job, young man. Because you called his ass out in public and you pinned him down to a point, right? So now we get to all sit back and wait and see what happens with this goddamn money. We get to see what happens with this goddamn money. But yeah, that's all I got to say, guys. I had to stop everything I was doing to bring this, to talk about this, because when I first saw it, I was like, hell to the fuck yeah. I would never be on this show because I don't follow him on Instagram like that. But the fact that somebody else did it, good fucking job. Just good fucking job. But anyways, I'm out, y'all. I'm out. I got to go handle some things. But I'm out. Hopefully y'all enjoyed.